It's time for Media Watch. James Creedon is here. We're starting with one of the arguably darkest moments in French history, the events of 1942. It's known as La Rafle du Veldiv, which translates as the roundup at the, well, it was the Velodrome of the Winter Velodrome, wasn't it, which used to be near the Eiffel Tower in Paris. And, of course, Jewish people were herded in there, arrested by the French police, and then taken off to Auschwitz.
As you say, Mark, arrested by the French police, and I think that's the key point, that why this event is being commemorated today, the 70th anniversary of it, why Jacques Chirac came out and made a big speech about it 17 years ago to try to make it enter into the French history books, because a lot of this stuff was swept under the carpet after World War II. And this article that you're now seeing is in Libération. It is a poll that was conducted by the CSA, which is a French audiovisual authority. It found that between 57 and 67% of people under 35 in France don't know what La Rafle is, or what this roundup is. There was a film about it in the last couple of years.
I was going to say that was out 2 years ago.
That's right, and another book called Sarah's Key, which was also adapted into a movie with Christian Scott Thomas, featured La Rafle as one of the key points. So you would think, actually, with a lot of movies and books coming out, that it would have hammered home this historical event even more in the consciousness of the French people. But it seems a lot of people aren't aware of it. And according to that poll, 67% of 15 to 17-year-olds, so mid-teens, not aware of what this event is. Now, that might seem quite shocking, but what I thought was quite surprising, interesting, is historians were asked about what their reaction to these statistics, and Le Monde interviewed quite a few historians who didn't actually seem too shocked by that. Henri Rousseau, he works at the French Research Centre, the CNRS, he said that he's not surprised, and if you ask young people, he said, in fact, if you ask questions that are too specific about history, people have bad memories, but if you ask broader thematic questions, people tend to remember things better. So if you ask young people how Jews were treated in World War II, they'll almost all know that it was not treated well. Other historians, including actually another historian from the same research centre, said that in fact the work in terms of memory of what happened during the Holocaust, or the Shoah as it's often known in France, there's not much more that can be done in terms of French society today. School textbooks, movies, etc. A lot has been done to make sure this memory is intact. And finally, the president of the French Jewish Association, Richard Pasquier, that association shortened to the CRIF, he said, look, I'm not too surprised at these statistics, and you could flip it on its head and say, well, 40% of very young people do know what this event was. But there you go. I think
commemoration today
depends on your point of view.
70th anniversary, the Velodrome was bulldozed at the end of the 1950s, and where it was now stands the French Interior Ministry, not too far from the Eiffel Tower.
Interesting.
Okay, Madonna.
Yes.
And controversy tend to go hand in hand, or
yes,
they follow the same dance steps. What's she been up to,
right,
and why she caused anger here in France?
All right, well, she was giving a big concert at the Stade de France on Saturday on this tour that she's on at the moment. Let's roll these series of pictures, because she did something that she recently did at a concert in Tel Aviv. These are the pictures from Tel Aviv, actually, in May of this year. You can see Marine Le Pen, far-right candidate in France, far-right politician, being associated with the image of the swastika, even though some say it's the swastika in a different form, etc., and very quickly with Hitler's face. So clearly she's being associated with symbols of fascism and World War II.
So that was Marine Le Pen there with the tash, the Hitler tash drawn on.
Well, it's a montage, and it all goes by very, very quickly. And it's also based on the person of Madonna. Madonna is there, and then her face is morphing into all of these characters, and it's part of a song called Nobody Knows Me. So I suppose maybe the idea being, who knows what's going on inside you. And other figures such as the Pope and Hosni Mubarak feature in that broader, longer montage. So she's just trying to be provocative again, obviously. That's kind of what she does.
Work, because the leader of the far-right National Front, Marine Le Pen, who features in there, as we said, with the tash drawn on her face, is clearly angry about it. She
is angry, and she warned her after the concert in Tel Aviv, you do this again, and I'm going to sue you. And now she is going to sue her. The Front National, the far-right National Front Party, is going to sue her. And, there you go. She also, at the beginning of that concert on Saturday, it was Bastille Day here in France, French National Day, the day the monarchy was symbolically deposed, etc. She came onto stage screaming, "I'm the only queen." That was her first quote, I suppose, a reference to the fact that the monarchy had been...
At least she didn't say, let them eat cake, which she could have done. Sorry, just correction, Marine Le Pen there, I got it wrong, with a swastika on her head, which is even more gruesome, isn't it, really?
That's it.
Okay.
So, controversial as ever.
Okay, James, thank you very much indeed.
Thanks, Mark.
James Creedon there with Media Watch. Stay with us. We're taking a very short break. A bit of weather, then after that we're back with another news update, plus all the sport and some culture for you. In sport, Ibrahimovic perhaps on the brink of joining Paris Saint-Germain, and in culture, well, you'll have to wait and see. Stay with us.